This would be typical of a hit and run accident scenario where you would have a body, and fortunately in this case we have the vehicle which has remained at the scene. It's not uncommon for shoes to be found separated from the body itself. In this case, what we're looking at is not only the remnants that are left behind on the body itself from the vehicle. This is especially important if the vehicle has left the scene. In this case, we'll be dealing strictly with glass, and the glass within the vehicle itself is different depending on where it came from. Whether it be the headlights, the windshield, which is a laminate type glass, the side or rear windows on the vehicle, which is a tempered glass, and again the tail lights again, which is a different, almost like a layered type of glass because of the bevel that's generally in it. So after examining the vehicle itself, we would then attempt to place the glass from the vehicle on the body to ensure that it was indeed this vehicle that came in contact with our deceased. Okay. The process would be, first of all, examining the area around where the body is. Anything that can be collected would be collected. Then, after the coroner has come to the scene and given his permission, any movable objects on the body would be removed. Then, when the body is taken to the lab, to the morgue, a closer examination would be made for any other embedded pieces of glass that were actually on the body itself. So it's a several stage process before you retrieve that pieces of glass.
For this particular investigation, this hit and run investigation, we're trying to determine if this vehicle was involved in this hit and run accident. To do that, one of the types of evidence we can look at is glass. Did that glass originate from this vehicle? Was the glass found on the victim? Was the glass found in the area surrounding the victim? So once the glass is collected, we'd bring it back to the laboratory for further analysis. And that's where microscopy is so important.
Once again, we have our deceased member who forms a great part of it. And in this case, we're going to concentrate more on the glass collection from the scene. So first of all, we'll try to determine where the point of entry was made. And in this case, we have a broken window. Broken windows provide a great deal of evidence. First of all, was the window hit from the outside, or was the window hit from the inside? Just because we have glass on the floor in the inside doesn't necessarily mean to say that the window was struck from the outside. So in this case, what we would do would actually seize the window itself, and based on the fracture lines within the window itself back in the lab, we'd be able to determine if the window indeed was struck from the outside or the inside. The glass that we have on the floor, obviously, we'd like to be able to determine that it did indeed come from this window. Because people have been known to set things up to make them look like you had something which it's not. So therefore, by collecting this glass and collecting the window itself, we'll be able to determine that as a first. Then, obviously, we want to go over and, as we did before, examine the body, and we'll be looking for any traces of glass that may be there also. To collect the glass itself, first of all, after we make sure that we have indeed photographed and marked everything exactly where it's placed, We'll do this by series of measurements and also by photography. We'll draw a sketch to show where in relation to the room itself is. And in certain cases, we'll follow up with an actual video of the scenario itself too. To collect the glass itself, it can be done first of all by collecting the large pieces of glass with forceps, placing them into a sheet of paper. Once we have collected as much glass as we can with forceps, we will then use either a cameled hair brush and collect all the glass onto the paper too. We'll then fold that glass up in a pharmacist's fold, place it into an envelope and seal the envelope with tape and then with a seal. That way we maintain continuity of that glass from the scene to the lab.